comers knowing what was going to happen because he was a very experienced leader. I mean, I think Ford hired him when he was 62. And he'd been running Boeing airplanes through 9/11. He'd been in the fire before. So he had a pretty good idea of how this was going to play out, right? And it started with us all grounding ourselves in the plan at the time, and the plan was abysmal. So it was just a meeting where Alan puts the plan, we actually had me put the plan up, and he looks at that and goes, "Is that our plan?"
And then he says, "Is that what you want your plan to be?"
Right, so he goes around the room, literally person by person. "Is that our plan?" "Yes." Second question, "Is that the best we can do?" And there was all kinds of prevaricating and people trying to position, and he kept coming back. It's a very simple question. Is that our plan? And is that the best we can do? And he made everybody answer the question explicitly. And every person said, "Yes, that's our plan," and "No, that's not the best we can do." And so I'm really glad to hear you say that, because if that is our plan and it's the best we can do, we should sell the company and give these assets to somebody who can do better, because we're not even earning our cost of capital. But if we're saying that's the best we can do, we should hold our heads high and offer these assets to somebody who can do better, because we've done the best we can and it's not good enough. But you've all said we can do better, right? So why don't we take a week and all of you write down and send an email, in that case to me, I was running strategy at the time, send an email to Greg and tell him what it is, the top 10 things we need to do to have a better plan. Because we all agree that's not the best we can do together. So let's figure out what you all think we should be doing differently to have a better plan. And he knew perfectly well that they were going to be mostly aligned on the big rocks, right? So sure enough, we come in the next week, I've got it all compiled, and there's, 100% agreement on the top 4, 90% agreement on the next 3 or 4, and, then there's a smattering of some other things that were less strategic. And he's like, wow. So we as a group all agree on these 7 things pretty much. You guys think maybe that should be our leadership agenda? Like, should we work on those 7 things together and see how we do, and then let's check in every week on how we're doing against it? And they were like, well, yeah, I think that might be a good idea. Right? And so, that became the leadership agenda for turning around the company. Right? And it was beautiful.